What is going on, IVE Warriors? This is your boy Edward V, and today we're going to talk about why intermittent fasting may soon become mainstream. Stay tuned. What is going on, IVE Warriors? This video is going to tackle how we're going to make this be a mainstream thing. You just have to see the trend, where it's going. Right now, it's not where it should be, but is it in the path, in the direction where it should go? Definitely yes. First of all, as these new studies come out and as we keep on producing these studies and presenting these studies, you're noticing the trend of the study itself is positive. There have been multiple studies done with men and women alike, all coming back with positive results for the movement of intermittent fasting. Young, old, everyone in between, it's been effective for all these people when doing intermittent fasting. But as I mentioned before, to get the true long-term studies, we must have long-term periods. So before that can happen, in terms of the studies itself getting more in-depth with longer periods, those things are gonna have to wait. But they're very positive indeed. And then we have public curiosity. The public wants to know about intermittent fasting. Channels like this are being created every single day. I'm proud and even happy to see other intermittent fasting focused channels rise, some with 1,000 subscribers, others with 500 subscribers. I'm watching you guys because it's the next big thing, and that's what pushes the movement. People that are dedicated to pushing the information of intermittent fasting. And I congratulate you on a higher note, because intermittent fasting isn't a money-driven thing, which is why in this time, in this day and age, in the year 2017, it isn't as predominant as it should be, as effective as it is. People have been affected positively through this as it's done in the past. Why, where a world where when people are focused on one thing, there's a tension there, why isn't that being touched on? And the reason is it's money. It's very, very difficult for anyone to take intermittent fasting and figure out a way to monetize it, because intermittent fasting is free. So I tell you this one thing for any intermittent fasting channels that are coming out: do not revolve building the movement of intermittent fasting behind trying to monetize intermittent fasting itself. It's not going to work, because it's a system that does not have the power of monetization. If you want to separate something else, like you want to sell, boxing gloves or something for whatever thing, that's different. But if you want to try to find a way to make people pay for intermittent fasting, you will fail. Just as simple as that. The beauty of intermittent fasting is that it comes from within. It comes from each and every person. Their ability to do it from within. It's their body not eating, creating that power that comes with the weight loss, the health benefits, all those different things. Doesn't require money. You could already see people trying to parlay it into money, but none of it is grabbing well enough. Things like the prolonged fasting mimicking diet that I mentioned, having a program, a set program that you have to purchase, those things are attempts to take something that has this attention and then figure out a way to make money out of it before someone else does. But they haven't been able to figure that out effectively yet, which is why we're not mainstream, but we are still climbing. You see, when it comes to attention and where people are focused on, everyone wants to get to the new shiny toy, and intermittent fasting is becoming that new shiny toy. And with that, people will start to flock towards intermittent fasting. That's how it works. But nothing can fully go mainstream until there's a tastemaker. And there are a few tastemakers that are coming out that do intermittent fasting. People like Beyonce, people like Jimmy Kimmel, and even further pushing it by doing a full-blown interview like Terry Crews did. Now, Terry Crews came out with the Business Insider interview where he actually talked about his process and why he does intermittent fasting and what intermittent fasting does for him and what it can do for you. It was subtle, but it put a spotlight on intermittent fasting with a tastemaker as someone like Terry Crews. Others do intermittent fasting, but do not put it in a spotlight. The more tastemakers we have that come out the way Terry Crews did, the more likely we are to go mainstream, and that seems to be the direction that we're going. And if you just look at the Google Trends is based off of a scale of 0 to 100. 0 being the least amount of search that has been done in its entire history, 100 being the most amount of searches ever done for this search in its entire history. And if you look at the numbers, we are at the highest point we have ever been for the word intermittent fasting in over 5 years. So with all this evidence, it is my understanding that we will soon have intermittent fasting be mainstream. And when it's mainstream, it comes with positives and it comes with negatives. First, let me give you guys some joy and explain the positives. With the positive comes physicians, doctors, people prescribing fasting for people to actually lose weight rather than prescribing pills that can supplement what fasting can do. Yes, there are certain things that you can actually do that are health beneficial to you when you're sick with specific things that fasting can actually fix. The beauty of that is that your body becomes much more stronger to whatever that disease was or sickness when you just allow your body to heal itself. More openness and conversation with others, friends and family alike. One thing that keeps a lot of people from fasting is that friends and family are very adamantly against fasting. I have had many friends and I have had many family members where their family members are very adamantly against them fasting because, especially back then when I was starting it and when my first year and 2 years into it and they were trying to do it, fasting was heavily stigmatized at that time. People were scared that if you fast, you're just going to starve and you're going to get sick and you may even eventually die. But little do they know that it's actually the reverse, and it actually prolongs life and makes you healthier. And no, you're not going to die because you don't eat for 20 to 24 hours. But the more mainstream it becomes, the more accepting they will be to that notion. But then here comes the negative. With intermittent fasting becoming popular, someone will figure out a way to monetize it. And they're gonna make you feel like if you don't actually go with this monetization, you will actually be doing yourself a disservice. So before we even get to that point, I want you to heed my message. The protocol of intermittent fasting should never be monetized because it doesn't have to be. Now, if somebody tells you, hey, you can get these running shoes that'll make you run more comfortably, that I understand. But if someone tells you, hey, take this pill, it allows you to be in a fasted state instantaneously or not be hungry at all no matter what for maximum 48 hours, do not bite. Number one, you never want your body to ever depend on anything else. The beauty of intermittent fasting is that it is creating its self-dependence based on its practice and its constant usage of the fasting protocol. Number two, anyone can tell you anything and it can still be a placebo effect and you have just spent your money on something that you don't need. Number three, your body can adapt to anything. Don't let the fear of failure make you feel that you need to buy something to make yourself succeed. So that is all I have for you guys. I'm glad that we're going in that trend, that we're moving in that direction, because that is the mission, that is the end goal, to get it mainstream. You've seen it somewhat hidden in shows like Dr. Oz, where they're actually trying to promote the fasting mimicking diet, but they're talking in code so that you don't really want to do intermittent fasting and you just do this thing, this product that they're trying to sell you. We're seeing it there, but it's touching, it's closing in on being mainstream, with Terry Crews coming out talking about it, with other people coming out and talking about it, and people, stars using it and subtly saying that they do. You can see there's a breakthrough almost about to happen. But just remember, guys, keep yourself grounded. This thing is free, and all the benefits and all of the results have been found and shown and completed and reached and achieved without spending a dime. Thank you for watching this video, guys. If you have any other questions to any other videos that I've had in the past, I will have one video here, and of course I'll have my subscribe button down there. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Go ahead and watch that video. I would gladly appreciate it. See you next time. Peace.